It is 41 past the hour, and joining us now, senior writer at Politico and co-author of The Playbook, Jake Sherman. He's an MSNBC political contributor. Jake, let's talk about the Democrats, these Senate races, and just how badly they performed and why.
Well, Democrats in Washington are waking up to an abject disaster, and there's no other way to explain this. Forget the White House for a second, if you can. But Republicans are going to net seats in the House of Representatives. That's was on nobody's radar. They knocked off a whole host of incumbents. They have spent $250 million, probably, even more than that, to lose to a host of Republican senators who they consider to be in danger: Mitch McConnell, Jamie Harrison, John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham. And if I were a Democrat right now, again, forget Joe Biden for a second. Congressional races operate kind of in a silo, and that silo is very messy this morning. And if I'm a Democrat, I'm looking to the top of my party and wondering what just went on. No matter who wins the presidency, Capitol Hill is going to be a mess in the next couple of years. You're going to have a House Republican minority with more than 200 seats. You're going to have likely a Republican majority in the Senate, and that makes for gridlock no matter who wins the White House. So again, I don't know what conclusion they're going to come to. There's always these kinds of discussions after an election, whether the party was too far to the, too moderate, too liberal, too whatever. But there's going to be a soul searching in the Democratic Party for the next couple of weeks that's going to be absolutely bloody and dizzying.
So, Jake, to go down this list of races that we were watching, Tommy Tuberville, not a surprise that he wins in Alabama. John Hickenlooper, looks like Mark Kelly, a couple of Democratic pickups there. Which of these races, if any of them, surprised you the most? Thom Tillis, Joni Ernst, Susan Collins, still very much alive in the state of Maine. As you look at this, and then we can add, of course, Lindsey Graham, just by the margin alone, by how much it looks like he's going to end up winning by, which of these races surprises you the most?
Probably Joni Ernst, Willie, and the margin by which these candidates won. Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, John Cornyn in Texas. The margin was a little bit stunning in South Carolina, considering Jamie Harrison raised $100 million. And I know we're talking about the Senate, Willie, but I just want to shift to the House for a second. Democrats, we talked about this last night on Peacock, but Democrats won 2 seats Republicans won 2 seats in the Miami area. They beat incumbents. They beat Max Rose in New York. I'm not sure if that's officially called, but Republicans are quite confident that they've won that seat. They won a seat in South Carolina. Joe Cunningham got knocked off. They won a seat back in Oklahoma. By the way, I just want to make this clear, and this doesn't mean anything besides just making this statement. Republicans did not expect this. They expected at best to keep their losses to single digits in the House of Representatives, but they did not expect a net gain of seats. And by the way, in a great sign for House Republicans, something they've struggled with, a bunch of women have won their races. That is a big deal for Republicans who have struggled with women in their ranks.
Yeah, and it is for Democrats a shocking result, but we can't underline this enough. It's shocking for Republicans as well. They never saw this coming. Their polls never suggested that they were going to have this kind of outcome. And again, there will be a lot of hand-wringing, people trying to figure out exactly what happened. Could it be that 1 in 5 voters that pollsters talked to lied about who they were going to be supporting? I'm not so sure, but I don't think it all comes down to some sampling error. Certainly, again, you can look at the presidential race, you can look at state polling, you can look at the senatorial polling, you can look at the congressional polling, all wrong. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.